Good day, everyone. So this video is all about the shortest remaining time first. The mode is preemptive, so there will be an interruption based on the given burst time. So let's say I have here a table having the 4 CPU from P1 to P4, and the arrival time of each CPU is 0245 and the burst time is 7414. In shortest remaining time first, we need to get the lowest burst time should be executed first. Okay? Now, let's have here our Gantt chart. So, at time 0, so since the shortest remaining time first, lower burst time should be executed first. Here, the lowest burst time is P3. However, we need to consider the arrival time of each CPU. So P1 has the lowest arrival time at time 0. So we will write here P1, although that P1 has the highest burst time. So P1, the burst time of P1 is 7. So you minus the next arrival time of the next CPU to the burst time of P1. So the next is P2. So you less 7 to 2. So 7 minus 2 is 5. Okay. So in our ready queue, okay. So in our ready queue, P1 arrived first at time 0. Then it follow the lowest burst time, which is P3, P2, P4. Okay? So like what I've said earlier, although that the shortest remaining time first, the lowest best burst time needs to be executed first, but we need to consider the arrival time of each CPU. So if you will compare the arrival time of P2 to P3, so P2 arrives at 2 and P3 arrives at 4. So P2 comes first before P3 because of its arrival time. So P2, okay, so the Gantt chart for P1 is 2 because we deduct this 2 to the burst time of P1. Now, so P2, so we need to deduct it to the next arrival time of the CPU. However, the arrival time of the P3 is 4. We cannot minus the burst time because it will become 0. So instead, use the arrival time of CPU 2 or the P2. So 4 minus 2 is 2. So this will become 4 in our Gantt chart. Then the next to arrive is P3. So look at our burst time. The lowest burst time now is P3. Then next is P2. Okay, P4 and P1. So here, in our P3, so P3, so we need to write here in our Gantt chart P3. So P3 has the burst time of 1. So 4 plus 1 in our Gantt chart is 5. So we are now done executing the burst time of P3. So after P3, we have P2, P4, and P1. So after P3, we have P2. Our burst time of P2 is 2. Okay, so right here is P2. Then add the Gantt chart to the burst time of P2. So P2 is 2. So 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay, so we are now done executing the burst of P2. Now next is compare the burst time of the P1 and P4. So P1 has a burst time of 5 and P4 has the burst time of 4. So the lowest burst time is P4. So right here, P4, Okay. Now, what is the burst time of P4? We have 4. So, 7 plus 4 is 11. Okay. Next, the last CPU to be executed is P1 because we already done in executing the P4. Okay. So, P1 has its burst time of 5. So, 11 plus 5 is 16. Okay? So, if you will going to add the burst time, so 7 plus 4, 11 plus 1 is 15 plus 4, it is 16. So, it has the same total value of our Gantt chart. Now, to write for the completion time, so what is based on our Gantt chart, the completion time of P1 is 16 and the completion time of P2 is 7 and then the completion time of P3 is 5. The completion time of P4 is 11. Now, to get the turnaround time, so the formula is completion time minus the arrival time. So, 16 minus 0 is 16. And then, 7 minus 2 is 5. So, 5 minus 4 is 1. Then, 11 minus 5 is 6. Now, to get the waiting time, the formula is turnaround time minus the burst time. Okay? So, 16 minus 7, we have 9. Then, 5 minus 4 is 1. So, 1 minus 1 is 0. And then, 6 minus 4 is 2. Now, to get the response time, look at our Gantt chart. What is in the left side of each CPU? So, let's say P1. So, P1 has its 16. Okay? So, minus to the arrival time. So, 11 minus 0 is 11. And next is P2. Okay? So, P2 is 5 minus 2 is 3. Then next we have P3. So P3 is 4. So 4 minus 4 is 0. Then P4 is 7. Okay? So 7 minus 2 or 7 minus 5 is 2. So that is how you will get the shortest remaining time first based on the given table. So you need to add the turnaround time in order for you to get the total average time and the total average waiting time. Now here in our shortest remaining time first, the waiting time and the response time is not the same. So, the difference between the shortest job first and the shortest remaining time first, the shortest job first, the waiting time and the response time has the same value. While the shortest remaining time first, the waiting time and the response time is different from its value. So I hope you learned something new on how to get the shortest remaining time first. So good luck and God bless.